All right.
Right now I'm pouring the 2011 Hemel-An-Aarde Pinot Noir from the Hemel-An-Aarde Valley of South Africa. The Hemel-An-Aarde Valley, which is basically right next to Walker Bay in Hermanus in South Africa, a great area known for whale watching. Hemel-An-Aarde has been known, actually is now highly recognized as one of the premier producers of Pinot Noir actually in the world, which is kind of funny because they never thought that South Africa would be able to do that. Doesn't get quite cool enough, but for whatever reason, Anthony Hemel-An-Aarde, owner and proprietor of the estate, has been able to pull it off. They've been making a wine now for about 30 years. 2011 vintage is interesting. Just released, a little lighter than some of the previous ones. The 2010 was a big chunky monster, got big scores. This has got some nice scores as well. I think it got a 92 Spectator, 90 Wine Advocate. Again, lighter style. Really, it's classic Pinot. It's got the really bright kind of burgundy, classic look to it. Fairly translucent. Not a big wine, not big wine in color or big wine in body, but again, this is Pinot Noir and this is pretty good. But for Pinot Noir, this is more delicate. When you work with the nose, it's got really delicate red fruit on it. I get a little bit of interesting spice, which is what you should have as well. I get a little bit of cinnamon, things like that. It's not really stemmy or stocky, and this is funny because this is a style of wine that when I was with Anthony Hemel-An-Aarde doing a vertical of 03 through about 2010 last year, we talked about in 2010 starting a new style of winemaking where they wanted the wines to be a little more fruit forward, less savory. You're still going to get the savoriness because you have to have that because that's part of the component that gives complexity. But here's fruit forward. As when you try this, you're going to see that it has delicate red fruit. I don't think it's something that's going to age a really long time, but it's something that drinks so nice. It's really just a pretty wine. I think this really brings out the characteristics of what you expect in Pinot Noir, which is that femininity that you want, that really kind of just nice, mellow, and I think that's why the grape can capture so much attention. Again, this has just been open. It's only been, I think, around for about a couple of weeks, so probably shaking up a little bit still. We popped it here about a half an hour ago, a little bit of airtime. But, you know, it's a pretty little wine. Again, delicate red fruits on the nose, some nice spice. Medium body in the palate. Really refined tannins. And this wine would really be fun to come back to in about 2 years, where I think it would flesh out a little bit. It'd gain a little more fatness, which will happen. And it might even happen now after it opens up a little bit. But it's very refined. And again, I don't think this is a long liver, as in something like the 10 could go on forever, but this is not. And this is probably the vintage conditions, but it's a really well-made Pinot Noir. Get a hold of some of it. Really more old world than new world, and that's the style that he makes is more old world because they're not so fruit forward and they're not so big. And this is really premier, and Hemel-An-Aarde obviously has done it again, and it's very well made. And it's quite nice bottle of wine. I think it retails for about anywhere from about 40 to 45. So it's got nice length to it. Tannin structure again is really not big, so it doesn't have. There's not a big pull on the back, but it's got that silkiness that you want.